Welcome to Foot in Mouth. Guys, since the last episode, there has been quite a lot of activity in the transfer market. And it's not only new rumors and links that we know, we also now know the schedule for next season's Premier League campaign. And I think that some of those early fixtures could have an influence on our club's move in this market. Now, I know a fair share of Man United fans who are losing their heads at the slow pace of the work being done at Man United, especially considering how much work they used to do. But could that be changing? Yes, you guys missed out on Julian Timber, and yes, you guys may have been rejected by Christian Eriksen, but Erik ten Hag is on a mission, y'all, and it looks like that mission is to make Manchester United champions of the Eredivisie. Now, Ten Hag does have a verbal agreement with his old club Ajax, promising that he won't pick apart the team that he spent so much time building while he was there. And it kind of looks like he's forgotten all about that promise, because United have been linked almost exclusively to players who currently play for Ajax or have played for Ajax. Now, I'm not saying that these are bad players. They are good players who will definitely improve this current United squad. But come on, guys. You have to close some of these signings now and just stop with the teasing. With fixtures against Arsenal and Liverpool coming up early in next season, fans are going to want to see a strong start. And I don't think Ten Hag is doing himself any favors leaving the transfer business late with a very important preseason coming up for him. Now, United fans, settle down. I know that you guys are going to be super indifferent to hear this, but Anthony is apparently close to joining Ten Hag in Manchester. I gotta say, man, I am loving the atmosphere online amongst the United fans. They really are done with these rumors and links, man. They want signings, and I can't blame them. I can't blame them. You can be linked to all the best players in the world. Doesn't make a difference if you don't sign any of them. The thing is, nobody is gonna join unless you pay up, which is something that Man United just seem very unwilling to do at the moment. Maybe they just have like some PTSD from the Maguire deal, and they are just adamant that they will not be bullied into spending big on one player again. But whatever their transfer strategy is at United right now, I don't think it's working for them, man. Arsenal kick off the new season again, but this time it's not against Brentford, it's against Crystal Palace, which is probably worse. I mean, they've become a bogey team for us. We haven't beaten them in our last 8 meetings. I don't know how. But a solution to that problem could be new signings, and we do have one of those at Arsenal right now in the form of Fabio Vieira. The club finally announced him as a new Arsenal player, and I can't lie, I am pretty excited about this kid, man. 35 million, could rise up to 40 with the add-ons and bonuses and all that. But when you look at what we're getting, man, you look at his stats, 6 goals and 14 assists is madness. I don't care if it's the Portuguese league. We've seen players come from the Portuguese league and flourish in the Premier League. If he can bring some of that form with him to Arsenal, then I think he's set for a solid future with us. The spending will continue at Arsenal, though, words from Edu Gaspar himself. And could Fabio Vieira be joined by Rafinha? I personally believe that you can never have too many Brazilians in a football club unless that club is Man United. And I am super excited to see him added to the Arsenal mix. Leeds are going to want around 50 million for him though, so it won't be cheap, but it becomes even more complicated with new reports coming out that Spurs are apparently lining up a big bid for him. So Arsenal are going to have to act fast. I will never forgive Arsenal if we miss out on Rafinha to Spurs. I mean, the idea of lining up with the front three of Saka, Gabriel Jesus and Rafinha, that sounds entertaining as hell, man. So I am hopeful, but we know how it goes as an Arsenal fan. It's the hope that kills you. Now, one thing we all hate is to see our biggest rivals strengthen their squads, and as happy as I am with the work that's being done at Arsenal, Antonio Conte is moving, bruh. And yeah, I think that's going to make for a bit of a long transfer window for me. He's already brought in Perisic and Basuma, who at 25 million, can I just say, has to be one of the best deals that we are going to see in this entire transfer window, bruh. I cannot believe, I don't even know how they managed to pull that off. Arsenal will quote like 50 mil for him not too long ago, 45 mil side, 50 mil, yeah. But 25 mil, that is a steal. The club are now also reportedly moving forward with their interest in Jed Spence. Now, the fullback was on loan at Nottingham Forest last season and played a big part in knocking Arsenal out of the FA Cup, so the last place I want to see him go is Spurs, but a move does look likely. Spence would be a really good addition to any squad, and to be honest, I did hope that Arsenal were going to move for him, especially after he performed against us in the FA Cup. But with Aaron Hickey links starting to die down and Spence pretty much sold to Spurs already, it looks like Arteta is saying that he is A-okay with Cedric sticking around for backup, which I would advise against. But look, he did have a decent run of games covering for Tomiyasu, and it wasn't all bad. I just think we can improve on the player. I mean, Hickey is being linked to the move to Brentford now, so we may be missing out on that as well. But yeah, these are the decisions that managers make, and it looks like Spurs are getting themselves a real gem of a player. Whether he has an impact on the first team from the jump, that remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure, they got themselves a future superstar. I'm fully confident of that. Chelsea need to replace 2 centre-backs this transfer window, and while that's not cheap, I'm especially curious to see how they operate, considering that it's going to be the first window without the expertise of Marina Granovskaya. I may have butchered that pronunciation. Since joining the club in 2003, she has primarily overseen squad management and transfers, and I mean, look, her record speaks for itself. She's been praised from top to bottom, even by fans, for the work that she's done at the club. And all due respect to Todd Bowley, he does feel that he can manage her role at the club on his own. I just think it's a gamble, man. I think it's a pretty big gamble. You know, new owners coming into a new league. The general perception of fans is that American owners don't have the same insight and love for the game as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what deals he can get done for Chelsea. And it looks like we are going to see just how shrewd he can be, with the club being linked to Raheem Sterling at Man City. Man City aren't going to be easy to negotiate with, and as a newcomer to the league, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how much leeway he can get. Marina Granovskaya has at least been in the league. She's basically seasoned. She knows how English clubs work, and because she's been at the forefront of transfers, she knows how to negotiate. But if Todd Bowley can emulate even half of what she's done for the club, Chelsea will be fine, of course. I just think that it's a bit of a gamble. Seeing Sadio Mane in a Bayern kit was bizarre to me, man. I asked Spons how he felt about it, and he seemed unfazed, so I guess that's just different strokes for different folks. But man, anytime you see a player who's been at your club for years, especially one that's done so much for your club, once you see them repping another team, man, it's just so weird to me. It's something that I will never get used to. Now, while his time at the club will forever be remembered, this is a really exciting opportunity for someone to step into his boots and be a real driving force for this Liverpool squad. And of course, that someone I'm talking about is Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez. Liverpool are playing Fulham in the league's opener, so the Premier League newcomers are going to be the first to get a taste of what is to come for the rest of the league. Then again, I did think the same after seeing Willian get a hat-trick of assists against Fulham in his league debut for Arsenal, and we all know how that turned out. Of course, I don't think that's going to be the case with Luis Diaz. I think he's just too good, and on top of that, you know, in this squad with this manager, I think that he's going to be a massive success with the club. I really do. With Luis Diaz turning out the way it did, it looks like Liverpool are pretty much set going into the new season, man. They're getting some money in for Mane and for Minamino as well, so they could possibly bring in some reinforcements, but I'm not expecting too much business from them, man. I really am not. I suppose you could get a couple more signings like the Calvin Ramsey deal where they bring in some players for the future. But aside from that, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty quiet at Liverpool, man. Diaz though, man, I must come back to him. As exciting as the signing of Darwin Núñez is, I can't shake the feeling that Luis Diaz is going to have a bigger impact on the squad. Look, from what I've seen so far, I just have a feeling, and I could be wrong, but one thing's for sure, both players are probably going to have a stellar season with Liverpool. The league champions start their Premier League campaign against West Ham in Saturday's set of fixtures, with Erling Haaland most likely going to be making his debut. I think there could also be a debut for Alvarez on the cards, considering that City could be without all of Gabriel Jesus, Raheem Sterling and Bernardo Silva come the start of the new season. Bernardo Silva wants to move to Barcelona, but they broke, so that may not happen. And also, that move looks wholly dependent on whether or not Man United pull the trigger on De Jong. Zinchenko's future is also being called into question now, with reports linking him with the move away. So it looks like more selling than anything else that's going on at Man City, but those players won't go for cheap. The club don't need to sell, and even with these players entering the final years of their contracts, Man City knows that when you have quality players, there's always going to be interest and someone's always going to be willing to pay. Whether they use that money to bring in new players, I don't know, but look, Marco Cucurella is joining from Brighton. But aside from that, it's been pretty quiet in terms of links with players coming to Man City. Now, I do think that Pep is probably going to be keeping one eye on Klopp though, and how they operate in Liverpool could motivate Man City to be a bit more aggressive if they need to be in this transfer window. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I cannot wait for the new Premier League season, and I'm equally excited to see what our teams look like when those opening games arrive. There's a lot riding on this season and on this transfer window, and look, to be quite honest, I am genuinely excited to go through another season of Premier League madness with you guys. As usual, thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel for more uploads, and I will see you in the next one.